Hey, have you ever looked at your art and thought, hmm, this is a little boring? Well, I'm here to help with that. This is a long form video on how to improve your art and make people resonate with it. When people look at your art, they need to feel something. And colors plays a big part in that. Different colors create different feelings. Like green can make us feel very calm and cozy, while red feels more danger or more stress. Which is why caution signs are always red. So when we understand how colors work, we can integrate that into our artwork and make them feel the colors. When we do that, we make them feel the emotion of the artwork. Colors are also very attention-seeking depending on how strong they are. For example, if you have painted a beautiful black and white painting, and then for some strange reason you decide to put a giant glowing red dot on every corner of the art piece, it would be absolutely impossible to concentrate on the beautiful painting, just because the color was so incredibly strong and eye-catching. So when we want people to look at a specific point, we make the colors of that point stronger than the point we don't want people to concentrate on. And that's also why backgrounds always should be less eye-catching than the concentrating point, unless you want people to concentrate on everything else than the concentrating point. We should also put a lot more details into the concentrating points than all the other parts of the art piece, because people's eyes are driven to the place where there's the most things going on, and many of the best artists knew that. So think about colors and where to put the right ones in the right places, so your audience can connect with it. But colors are not the only thing making people connect with your art, luckily. There's also a lot of power in contrast. For example, in the starting sequence in the movie Up, you immediately get greeted by all the beautiful colors and relaxing music, and you see how extremely happy and fulfilled the newly married couple are. And you can see that the screen is always filled up with either people or a colorful background. Later in the sequence they plan to get a baby, but then they unfortunately find out they can't. And you could just see how extremely powerful the contrast in the scene is. Just a second ago the screen was filled with colors and happy people, but now it's none of those. Now you can only see 3 people and an empty dark hallway. It goes from fulfilled, colorful and happy to empty, colorless and sad. A bit later in the sequence you see one of them get sick. At the end of the sequence she unfortunately died. And this particular moment is filled up with emotion. Just spot the difference between this and this. All the artists that worked on this movie made the start so happy and energetic to make the ending of the sequence as sad as possible. There's also a lot of power in the lines of your art. You can make the audience feel smooth and relaxed, or you can make them feel stressed and uncomfortable. The way you make them feel comfortable and at ease is by making your lines as smooth as possible. And if the colors work together, you can make a really visually pleasing artwork. You can also see how clean this is, and how rough this is. Some people might not like it, but it is art. Leonardo da Vinci used a very clean technique in almost every single popular and influential artwork he has crafted. That technique was also the only socially acceptable technique until the late 90s. But despite that, the popular artist, Van Gogh, actually had a rather unpopular art style. It were a little too abstract for the 1800s liking. When you look at the famous painting Starry Night, which were painted by Van Gogh, you can see exactly how he felt while painting it. You can see from all the curls in the sky and the colors he used that he clearly felt inspired and relaxed. Even if you do not paint abstract, you can still learn from this beautiful painting. Another good way to portray emotion via an artwork is using lighting, also called mood and tone. Mood and tone is a trick to make people feel what you want them to feel using lighting. For example, a painting with light and sunshine makes us feel happy, while storm and darkness makes us feel sad. So if we want people to feel sad, we make our artwork dark. And if we want people to feel happy, we make our artwork light. The size of the person in our art also matters. For example, in Up, again. In this shot, where he's at church mourning his wife's death all alone, you can see the difference in size between him and the room, which can help emphasize the feeling of loneliness. So in conclusion, if you see a person that takes up about 5% of the screen in a big empty room alone, it's a lot easier to use other tricks to make people sympathize with the people in the art. And if the person is big or surrounded by lots of happy people and bright colors, it gets easier to make the audience happy. And the people's poses matters a lot too. This position is very closed off and make the artwork appear sad. If you take this person and give her an open position like right before giving a hug, then the artwork would appear happy instead. People's positions means everything in portraying precisely what the characters feel. In my experience, I would say positions can make or break art pieces. Learning what positions mean and portray is a must for serious artists. You can typically see almost everything about people just on how they carry themselves. And you need to remember that when you draw specific characters. People that is always looking down at the ground or always fidgeting with something, generally looking awkward around people, appear a lot more unconfident. People smiling, always looking up and forward, while having a good posture, talking loud and polite, always appear more confident. And it's a good idea to remember that when you are drawing or crafting specific things. But that is almost irrelevant if you don't know this. When drawing a person or a character, you need to show their personality via how they're built, and you can do that easily via shapes. When building a character, you can choose their personality by choosing their shape. Main ones is square, triangle, and circle. Circle is mainly associated with safety and cuteness. Square is associated with stable and strong, while triangle is mainly associated with danger or something that is untrustworthy. I will now be going through some pictures where I point out the things I noticed in this video that is related to the things I talk about. As you can see, this is a painting of a cute cat. The reason why this cat is so cute and this picture is so nice and emotionally pleasing to look at is because this cat's main shape is circle and the painting is very bright and colorful. So in conclusion, the cute cat paired with the bright colors make people feel good. Yeah. In this picture you could see a girl sitting alone in a big room, which is a good way to make this picture give off a sad energy. She is also sitting in a really closed off position, plus she is sitting in a way that makes her smaller and the room seem even bigger. You can see in this amazing painting, the main technique they use is color position and facial expression. They made the painting with really stressing and warm colors, which makes the screaming woman that is already seeming very stressed seem even more stressed. If you like the video, make sure to check out my channel. You can also click the link under the video where I will be taken to my shop, where there's a lot of quality posters. I'm really glad you watched this video until this point, so here's a meme.